Hello, welcome to the Beard Out Podcast. Podcast where we talk about the two greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al Yankovic. My Aunt Lala and my dad are the hosts of the show. Thanks for listening to the Beard Out Podcast, part of the iPods Media Network. Stay weird and enjoy the show.
Here we go.
Well, hey, how are you doing? Have a seat. Have a drink. Boy, I can glad to see ya. What can you say? Where's Lala?
Hey, friends. You know what it is. You know what time it is. You know what this is. You know what you're listening to. This is the Beard Out Podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And this is a very special episode where we talk about very special things. And my brother John is not here because he's not very special. I'm Lauren. I am always here. I'm always here. There has not been an episode of the Beard Out Podcast where I have not been here. So I'm always here. And I have very special people on, and I'm super excited about this because I have our pal and friend of the show, Noah, here to do something we've never done before. So first of all, Noah, hello, welcome. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me. This is absolutely amazing.
I'm so glad. Yeah. So I feel like, okay, so setting this up for the people, because we talked before we hit the record button about all this that was going on. And so a couple of months ago, I put a call out on our socials. I was like, if there's a song that we have covered already that you want to come back on and talk about, let me know. And Noah was the first one to be like, I have a song I want to talk about again. And, got on my little list of guests upcoming, and now here we are doing the thing. And I guess first things first, you have to kind of establish your authority with my audience as a Weird Al fan. So tell the tale. What's your whole Weird Al story?
Oh boy, yeah. So goes back to 2006. I was in 5th grade, and my first ever exposure to Al was actually the Eminem interview from Al TV, which came out in 2003 with Poodle Hat. And yeah, so that was my first exposure. It wasn't any of his songs. It was just this interview. My dad showed it to me one night. He was scrolling through YouTube and found it, and he knew who Al was because of MTV back in the 80s. And so I loved it. I thought it was the funniest thing in the entire world. To this day, me and my dad still, will say, you know what I'm saying, over and over again, and it's hilarious. But back then, I still didn't really know what it was that Al did, and I couldn't really conceive of it. And I don't think at that time that I didn't see Eat It. I don't think I saw Fat. And then it wasn't too long after that White and Nerdy came out, and that song blew up. It was viral. It was everywhere. I was in 5th grade at the time, like I said, and everyone in my school loved it. So I just became obsessed, and I went down the rabbit hole. And that was a pretty interesting time in my life because I ended up having a medical situation, and having to be taken out of school for a year. And so I was just at home, kind of isolated from everybody else, and just really needing something I think, to latch on to kind of stay sane. And, it was Al's music that really allowed me to be able to do that. And then it's been something where just over the years, really, I think since 2018, that's when I've really developed an appreciation for his music with the Vanity Tour. That's when I really just went through all the albums. Not the rarities so much, but definitely the mainline albums. And yeah, so then I found your podcast, and that made me even more obsessed
We
and
do
made
that.
me realize, yeah, exactly. It made me realize just how much of a genius he is. And yeah, so here we are.
I think that's amazing, and one of the things that I think is a very common thread that goes through a lot of Weird Al fans is that he and his music get people through things in their lives that he probably never set out to do. He set out to put out smart comedy music, and he does it so successfully that it's a thing that people can grab onto when there's not much else in their life to grab onto, And I think that's wonderful. I am so thankful that Weird Al's, whole presence was able to be that for you when you needed it, because man, like if you can't laugh, like, you've got like that's when things
You're
are
gonna cry.
yeah. If you can't laugh, you're
Yep.
gonna cry. And
Yep.
I'd much rather laugh than cry. I'd rather laugh until I cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's amazing. And I'm gonna take a quick sidebar here because this is the Beard Owl podcast, and I had this beer on last week's episode, and the only reason I'm having it again is because I had one can left of it in my fridge. So if you listen to last week's episode where we talked to Andy Brack Merrill of Space Ghost Coast to Coast fame, I have Minky Boodle. And so if you haven't listened to last week's, go back and see what Andy Brack Merrill thinks about the Minky Boodle beer because he had some thoughts. Yeah. Anyhow, it's a nice nice little fruity sour beer that I enjoy because it's very hot outside right now. So, had to mention that.
Yeah, it is.
And so, Noah, what you came here today with was the intention to revisit the song Midnight Star from the In 3D album from 1984. And now knowing that like your history with your Weird Al fandom, how it started in 2006, which is 10 years after mine started, and let me see, another I can't math, like 23 years after Weird Al started. I think it's amazing that you want to revisit a song off of his second album. So before we revisit it and kind of talk about it and get into the weeds with it, why Midnight Star?
Well, I think that it is my favorite Weird Al song of all time. According to the ranking that I have done,
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there because I've been watching this happen while it's happened. You have done your own personal ranking of Weird Al songs because we did it.
Yes, so like I said, the minute that I found your podcast, I was like, this is the thing that I've been looking for. As far as Weird Al podcasts are concerned, I just love the way that you kind of really sink your teeth into his music and do deep dives. And so one night, I think I was listening to the Mandatory Fun ranking episode, and I was like, well, I got nothing else to do, so I'm going to do this myself.
I've got nothing else to do.
I got nothing else to do, and so it was a Friday night, and I was just like, I'm going to start doing this. It is definitely like not anywhere as scientific as the algorithm that John created.
Yeah, our weird algorithm.
Yeah. but yeah, so I just kind of started going through the albums and doing those rankings of those songs, and then I would pair. So like I started with his first album and compared like the worst ranked song on that album to the worst ranked song on In 3D, and kind of matched songs up there and figured like, oh, I'll put this song above this one. And I did a lot of rearranging, and the criteria changed. Like there are songs that are probably better songs that I have ranked lower than other songs because I enjoy them more. And so yeah, so Midnight Star, that took the top spot, and yeah, I think Weird Al is just a really good storyteller. He's very vivid with his imagery, and yeah, there's just something that I really like. I can listen to the song and I can see the headlines. I can see the vision of a guy like doing this really menial task of going to the grocery store, and then he's standing in the express lane and he just sees this magazine and he's just sitting there just reading, totally enamored, while people are like waiting for him to move along. And yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those songs that you have a clear mental picture of. We've all been in a grocery store line. Not so much today, but like folks of a certain age remember seeing magazines, you know, in the grocery store aisle with these kind of sensationalist stories on them. So yeah, it's a tactile memory. Like I feel it, I remember it, and I love that it's your favorite. This is one of those songs that took a while to grow on me because I don't know, like it's catchy, you know, and all that, this, that, and the other. But I think really digging into his catalog later in life, like I think I heard this for the first time. I was like 10 or 11, you know, like this particular song, hearing it for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, like it's on the rest of the album, but like when do we get to eat it again? You know, like that's the kind of thing. But yeah, Midnight Star, I think it moved up, and it moved up for us. I for sure. All 3 times I've seen the Vanity Tour, either iteration of it, he did this song, and I appreciated it more and more and more each time I got to see it live. So I think it's great in that way. Before we dig into the lyrics, though, I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, knowing Weird Al as we do, we know he is very good with the words and the grammar and all of that stuff. There's a video on his YouTube channel where he's in the grocery store correcting a thing that says 12 items or less to say 12 items or fewer.
Fewer.
Because that's what's correct. Does that bother you every time you listen to this song like it bothers me, knowing that it probably bothers Al?
More. Yeah. Now, I've never, like, there are definitely words that people mispronounce that get me more than that. I think, I think that's something where it's like you have to think about math to think about like how you're saying the phrase if it's, lesser, fewer. And I've never been a math guy, so I'm like, I don't care. It's good.
I'm not a math person either. I guess.
And then, I know for someone that claims to be such a stickler, he should have gotten it right. So
he should have gotten it right. But in fairness, this is his second album.
Yeah.
He's 23, 24 when he's recording these songs. So we'll let it slide because the rest of the genius is absolutely undeniable.
Yep.
But yeah, I just needed to know if that bothered you, because my local grocery store, the one across the street from my house where I went today after work, their express lanes say 10 items or fewer.
Or fewer.
They do say it. They say it
got right.
correctly. Oh my God. Way to go. Look at that. This is good stuff. So, yeah. All right. So we kind of got okay, this is your favorite Weird Al song.
Yep.
Let's sink into it. Let's just sink into this. Do you want to go through the lyrics from top to bottom? How do you want to do? Yeah. Well, let's just dissect this stanza by stanza.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fun way for us to do this. So, I was waiting in the express lane with my 12 items or less at the checkout counter at the local grocery store. I was only passing by, but a paper caught my eye, and I learned a few things I never knew before. Okay. So the scene has been set.
Yes.
And we've established that you can see this. we've established this already.
Right.
So
yes.
now, it said, your pet may be an extraterrestrial. It said, the ghost of Elvis is living in my den. You can learn to cope with stress, and you can beat the IRS, and the Incredible Frog Boy is on the loose again.
Yeah. So the first thing that I noticed was the line, the ghost of Elvis is living in my den. I thought that was very interesting because I was like, okay, and obviously this album came out before Velvet Elvis, but if we're creating a headcanon, like either I think that the narrator of Velvet Elvis might be the person that is like being interviewed for the Midnight Star, and there's a few other instances where I'm like other characters from Al's songs kind of show up here and are the subjects of these headlines.
I'm all for creating headcanon. I love that. And yes, the whole the ghost of Elvis is living in my den thing. Yes. Like, because the king lives on inside my den. Like, yes, it's the same. It's the same. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So either the Velvet Elvis doesn't exist or yeah.
Or does the ghost of Elvis live in the Velvet Elvis?
In the Velvet Elvis. That could be true as well.
You know, kind of like a magic mirror situation,
right.
Or
yeah.
I was gonna say Portrait of Dorian Gray, but it's not quite that because that's a different thing. But you know, or is it like the paintings in Harry Potter? Where you know
where they move or
there's sentience there.
Yeah.
You know,
there's sentience.
So maybe maybe that's what it is. Could you imagine like if the spirit of Elvis really lived on inside of Velvet Elvis?
That would be pretty interesting. I mean, you know, there are many people that say like Elvis visited me. I remember I used to be a huge Elvis fan around this similar time as I got into Al, and there was a documentary that I watched where someone was like, yeah, you can see like the ghost of Elvis left his outline on my door. And it's like, no, it's just fog. But, you know, then again, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, the people like to ascribe meaning to stuff. But I saw my first ever legitimate Velvet Elvis in person just recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went to there's a Chinese restaurant here in Jacksonville that has a secret tiki lounge attached to it.
Oh.
Now,
nice.
What happened was we were like, oh, we just wanted to go get some Chinese food. And we get there and we walk in the door and they're like, there's a guy giving like instructions to a group of people that had walked in the door in front of us. And we're kind of looking at each other like, what's going on? We just wanted to go that way for the Chinese food. Where are the people going that way? Where are the people going that way? So we get to the host counter and the guy's like, he's like, oh yeah, do you have reservations for the tiki lounge? We're like, excuse me, now what now? What tiki lounge? What are you talking about? And so he's like, let me see what I can do. And so he did some, scuttlebutt, whatever. And he said, okay, we can't get you in right away, but if you want to go to the Chinese restaurant and eat, we'll let you know when there's a spot available in the Tiki Lounge. And we're like, all right, sir. Sounds like a plan. So we went, sat in we got our Chinese food. We ate some. It was one of those Chinese foods that looks like it got like stuck in time in like 1967. And we were in this weird round, like horseshoe shaped booth. Everything was delicious. It was the best Chinese food I'd had in quite some time. And then the guy comes over and he was like, okay, we can take you to the Tiki Lounge now. And we're like, okay. And so we walk across the foyer of this, of the Chinese restaurant. And this Tiki Lounge looks like something completely different. I'm like, what is this? But there's a whole alcove in there called the Elvis Cove that has Elvis all over the place and legitimate velvet Elvi on the wall. Mm-hmm. We were not seated in the Elvis Cove because I guess you need a reservation for the Elvis Cove, but we could see it. And I was like, oh, that's a velvet Elvis. So I'm going to work on getting a reservation for the Elvis Cove so I can like touch it. Because he's so fuzzy and he's so great.
You found what you'd been looking for.
I did. So that's my little story.
I was going to, so I have a picture behind me, and when I was looking to get something to put up on that wall, I was going to get a velvet Elvis. I was going to look, but then I was like, I don't know how that would look. So I didn't end up doing it, but yeah, that's awesome.
I think you should. You got to kind of surround yourself with what makes you happy. My house is ridiculous, and I'm happy about it. We've got a giant Elvis picture right above the couch. It's not a velvet Elvis, but it's like a big picture of 70s Elvis doing his, doing his thing. And I'm like, all right, this works. We live our lives.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Midnight Star. It's in the weekly Midnight Star. Aliens from outer space are sleeping in my car. Midnight Star. I want to know. I want to know. So that's kind of your first zip around it. Aliens from outer space are sleeping in my car.
Well, it's because he kicked him out of the house because he just shampooed the rug.
Oh, you are creating all sorts of headcanon now. Yes, okay. Explore that. Explore that.
Yeah, I mean, they were making a huge mess, and he was just like, all right, you know what, go in my car, it's old and I need to get rid of it, and so just go make a mess in there and stay out of my house because I just shampooed the rug.
So if the slime creatures are sleeping in his car, is that why it keeps getting dragged around?
That
have I spiraled too deep?
I was gonna go there, and I wasn't sure if that was going a little too deep. But hey, this is the song about conspiracy theories, so why not?
We're creating our own magic in our own universe, so why not? Why not? Mm-hmm. The slime creatures from outer space were sleeping in his car, and so that's the reason why it got dragged away from the local disco.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I love it. Eat jelly donuts and lose 20 pounds a day. Hear the story of the man born without a head. And top psychics all agree that the telephone company will have a brand new service that lets you talk to the dead. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, eat jelly donuts and lose 20 pounds a day. I mean,
that would be great.
That would be really, really great.
I'd eat jelly donuts for like 3 days and say, oh, I'm too skinny now.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have
boy.
to. It's fine because I have a thing for this one. Like
Go ahead.
the telephone company will have a brand new service that lets you talk to the dead. We follow we're subscribed to a YouTube channel called The Y Files, where this guy kind of explores like different like technology things or like mysteries or just like things about the world that it's like, or history. It's like, why is this the thing? And one of the things on there is will technology enable us to talk to the dead? And like every time we're kind of like scrolling through, because we kind of flip through YouTube on the TV and that video kind of comes up, so the thumbnail, it's like, technology to talk to the dead. And every time I go, a brand new service that lets you talk to the dead. I'm just very glad my husband knows what I'm talking about, because otherwise I'd seem insane.
Yeah, I mean, so on a scarier note,
Ooh.
with all this talk of AI, there are things you can do where you can take like audio files of people that have passed on and essentially create like an avatar of that person which I think is creepy and probably not very healthy, but
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that.
yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
like we don't have to. This is not the forum to go
Yeah.
too deep into the evils of
Yeah.
AI, but trust.
Oh yeah, no.
I understand and agree, but like, yes, there is there's a line and a space for it. Like even in movies, when an actor has passed away, I get a little uncomfortable when they try and bring them back in film. There are some instances where I'm like okay with it, like when Paul Walker passed away, like in the middle of finishing that one Fast and Furious movie, how they did what they could do to finish the film, and also they did it, I felt like they did that like respectfully to him, kind of as a send-off. I'm like, okay, that I'm fine with, because it was literally his brothers standing in for him when they could and stuff. I'm like, okay, so like they're all in on it, this is fine. But then you get weird stuff, like I'm not a huge Star Wars person, but one of the more recent ones, I don't know, oh god, one of the more recent iterations of it, they brought the general from like the original trilogy.
Tarkin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got brought back.
And
like, ugh.
Yeah, I think, like you said, doing it where it's like you're trying to finish a thing and you have the support of the family, that's one thing. But yeah, just taking a whole entire person's likeness, that's kind of pushing it a little bit too far.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's, I don't know, by the time this comes out, maybe they've resolved all of the striking with the actors and the writers. Probably not. Okay. Probably not, because this isn't coming out all that far from now, but probably not. But like, that's part of what they're literally striking about, is it's like, okay, like you have all of our faces. You can't make us do things that we don't want to do. It was like the first episode of the most recent season of Black Mirror.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Joan is awful.
Joan is awful. That scared the poop out of me. I'm like, what? But like, we are so close to like something like that being an actual thing that it's almost terrifying.
Oh yeah. I after watching that episode, I was thinking, destroy all your electronics, just go live out in the wild, because that is just terrifying to think that there's the potential of being watched that closely.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't know, I realize but you know what, these are the kind of things that would end up on like we're not far off of what is happening here, because all of these headlines on like Midnight Star they seem sensational, but somebody believed it because it was a thing that happened,
Yep.
or they heard something somewhere from someone. And there is so much that exists in the world as it is right now that it's either like, like AI, I guarantee that there are people out there that are like, no, it can't be all that bad. That's a thing of movies. Like the science, the technology can't do that. And I was like, oh no, but it can. Like AI could obliterate us all before this episode comes out.
It is, yep, absolutely.
So, but yeah. So I guess I don't know. Well, then at that point, the telephone company having a brand new service that would let you talk to the dead wouldn't mean much, because is it the dead or is it AI? Is it both?
Yeah, could be.
All right, friends, we're going to take a quick break so you can listen to some advertisements. They're advertisements that help us pay the bills here at the Beard Owl Podcast. The Beard Owl bills. What are those? I don't know.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews, with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
All right, and we're back. Let's get back to this conversation. Boom. They're keeping Hitler's brain alive inside a jar. That's a nice standalone line.
That is. Yeah, I don't. I mean, again, that's another one that could potentially
could they
happen.
Do it?
Collect. Actually, that might be harder because I'm pretty sure he did not go out in a way in which his
brain is intact.
Yeah,
unless that's what they told us.
That is very true.
You see? You never know. You never know what's true. Ugh. Weird Al will tell you. You don't know what's true. What's real? We have no idea.
Everything you know is wrong.
Exactly. That's very high up on our list, by the way. You said this is your number one. That song is very high up on our list, not giving anything away to the people.
Oh, same for me.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
It's so good. So good.
Sick accordion solo and everything you know is wrong. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. So, have you heard or read or seen that Midnight Star is supposedly a style parody of like Bruce Springsteen?
So I am not familiar enough with Bruce Springsteen to figure out if this is accurate. I've been wondering for a long time because I know like Al does, he does his style parodies and then he does the songs which he says are just originals and they're not specific. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, this still sounds like something, and it's almost like a 80s like newscast intro or something, like that opening piano. I can't quite put my finger on it, but every time I hear it, I'm like, this sounds so familiar.
Yeah, but I don't think it's Springsteen.
Yeah,
and
no, I definitely don't.
I don't know who got that, who put that on the Wikipedia page. Whoever it is, Wikipedia, take that down because that can't be true. Unless Weird Al says it is. Then, okay, Weird Al, explain. Because I know a good amount of Springsteen's oeuvre pre-1984. So I can't put my, I can't wrap my brain around what it could even be,
Yeah, those opening keys where it goes like dun 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 dun. It kind of sounds like Hungry Heart, but not similar enough
Yeah, maybe.
that I could.
Maybe that was
Yeah,
it.
That if I was going to say that it was Bruce Springsteen, I could kind of see that might have been what the person was thinking, but yeah, I don't think that that's what it is.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm trying to remember where we are in the song, because we were on a lot of like chorus bits.
Tell me how to make my bus line grow. Midnight Star, I want to know.
All right. I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine.
Okay.
I had a friend who didn't know or hear that song, that line, like quite right. How to make my bus line grow. It was like, I thought it was about like people waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on that? Or the line?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I had paid too much attention to that line before I had re-listened a few times this weekend. It's kind of blue for Al, I thought.
It is.
Yeah, I definitely. But a lot of times when you see these magazines, you know, a lot of times they have these health tips. Like we saw the previous line about eating the jelly donuts to lose weight.
Yeah.
So it's not too out there.
Yeah. That's one of those things. It's like I was in the grocery store today, and they still have. It's not like tabloid stuff, but I think there's a real cheap like grocery store magazine called Women's World that will have like Jane Seymour on the cover from time to time, or you know, stuff like that, and it'll be like how to reduce your waistline by 5 inches in 5 days, and like they have like the little measuring tape around a thing, and it's like, oh no, there's no, that's not healthy or right. And there's also no real way that a magazine can tell you how to make your bust line grow, but they'll claim that they can.
Yep.
They will sure claim that they can.
Yeah. If they can make some money off you, they will.
Yeah.
Claim anything.
You know, I think the funny part about the whole thing is, you know, you can naturally make your bust line grow just by getting fat.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
But you know, then you got to eat jelly donuts and lose 20 pounds a day. But what about that bust line that you just cultivated? You know, it's too much. It's entirely too much.
Absolutely.
I can't take it. I can't take it. And they're keeping it. So we are at the UFOs have landed, and we'll tell you where they are.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. The UFOs have landed, and we'll tell you where they. I feel like a UFO would be hard to miss.
So riddle me this.
Okay.
If a UFO lands, is it still a UFO?
Because you can identify it.
And it's no longer flying.
That is true.
It's just an
Oh. It's an object.
It's just
a regular object. I mean, some. I think there have been certain things that have fallen out of the sky that have still been unidentified. You know, if it's a alien spacecraft, you know, it might be made out of some material that we don't know what it is. Lots of people may have a hard time being like, no, that's not a UFO. That's not a spaceship. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I will tell you this. This is just my stand, my point, my take on this whole thing, I guess, is that you're right. Because there have been things that have fallen to Earth that we're like, we don't know what this is. What is this? And sometimes it just can't not be aliens. Like, in my take on it, it can't not. And maybe we're too dumb as a as a race, as a species, for aliens to want to try and interact with. Maybe they're just like, oh, look at them, they're real cute down there. They're gonna mess it up, and eventually we're gonna be like, okay, all right, we got you. We might be close with AI,
Yeah.
We might be close to those aliens saying like, we better go help them before they ruin themselves.
Yeah, no, I think if there are aliens, like you said, they wouldn't want anything to do with us. They've got their system up there in space. They're probably a very civilized race that doesn't want anything infringing on their livelihood. So
Yeah. They're probably just like, oh, we're gonna leave them alone. They're a mess down there. They are an absolute mess. But no, in fairness, I feel like there are things that have fallen down to Earth that are just like, this is a material that is not found anywhere on Earth. And so could it just be a piece of space rock that fell down? Sure. Could it be something from like an alien civilization? Also, sure. Like, again, I could be talking out of turn, and you can feel free to disagree with me if you do on this point. But I feel like the universe is entirely too vast for us to be alone in it.
yeah, no, I agree to some extent. I know I've gotten into conversations with my dad who, has heard things about, like, in the ocean that maybe there are life forms that we haven't met yet.
Oh, there
that
are.
So it's a very real possibility, because I do think it would be too weird for us to be alone, and maybe it's too self-absorbed of us to think that we're the only thing that could be here.
Yeah, well, that's very human, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Very
Absolutely.
self-absorbed. That's humans. All right. What else can we read about in the Midnight Star? You can use your ESP to learn to play guitar.
There you go.
That would be cool.
It would be very, very cool. Hey, I mean, I've always wanted to learn guitar, and if I could do it by simply just thinking about it, oh my God, I would be a rock god.
Yeah. And the thing is, using your ESP to do it, you could probably pick your teacher.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So would that mean that would have to be like a guitar player that is passed on that you could connect with ESP, or could you telepathically connect with the living as well?
Well, if it's ESP, typically, like, you can read minds, so you could probably kind of go into the mind of say Slash, for example, and kind of figure out what's going on there. What's he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could get in touch with a psychic that could get you in touch with Jimi Hendrix or something.
Yeah, well, you can use that brand new service from the telephone company to talk to the dead, and then use your ESP whilst talking to the dead to learn to play guitar. So, knowing that all of these things are possible in the Midnight Star universe, I don't think whom is correct here, but which guitar player would you most want to telepathically learn how to play guitar from?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I put you on the spot with that question. I can give you my answer while you're thinking about it if you want.
Give me an answer.
I think I would most want to learn from Wendy from The Revolution of Prince and the Revolution.
Okay.
Because she's the one who did, that iconic kind of guitar bit at the beginning of Purple Rain? That's Wendy. That's not Prince.
Wow.
That's Wendy. Wendy also did the guitar part on Sheryl Crow's My Favorite Mistake. Like, she is the most badass of lady guitar players. And I feel like if I wanted to learn how to play guitar from anyone, it would be Wendy from Prince and the Revolution.
Nice.
Telepathically.
So I would have to say, you know what? I'm just gonna go with Jimi Hendrix. You know that I think.
Would you make him teach you right-handed or left-handed?
Left-handed.
Okay. Regular left-handed or the upside-down weird left-handed that he did? You would want to play guitar exactly like Jimi Hendrix?
I mean, it doesn't have to be exact.
I know, I'm just being silly.
I know. Yeah, well, I am left-handed, and so it would just be, my entire family is actually left-handed.
Really?
Yeah, me, my parents, my sister. So
What a bunch of
it would
freaks.
just be the easiest. Yeah,
My dad's left-handed, so
I know the world just was not.
It was not made for you.
Us. We're too good.
you are too good. You are too good.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, like, oh yeah, the world. I could not even imagine. Like, I'm short, and I say the world was not made for me because I need people to like reach for stuff for me. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine being left-handed. Like, the world hasn't adapted to you. You have to adapt to the world.
Yep.
Being left-handed. And I see it with my dad all the time because he would have to be like, so I guess like your family doesn't have this problem because my mom, my brother, and I are right-handed and our dad is left-handed. So we'd go to a restaurant and my dad would have to be like, okay, I have to sit on this end so I'm not throwing elbows with some right-handed eater next to me. But if all of you are left-handed, then it's like you can sit wherever you want. But my dad's like, I gotta map this out strategically in my brain so that I'm not knocking elbows with someone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, the biggest issue for me was like in school when I'd be writing and then I'd get like a ton of graphite on my hand.
Yep.
That was always the worst kind of thing that I had to deal with because I didn't have to deal with the desks. So.
Oh, all that stuff on your hand. Yeah, I know. I was like, I always felt bad. You can tell the left-handed people walking around at recess. They're like,
With the mark.
God, we're branded as lefties. We wear it with pride. Yeah, I was like, okay, you guys, this is enough. Oh, man. But I guess this is a terrible segue on my part. We got to finish up this song now. So I think we're just kind of in the outro of it at this point, correct?
Yep. I want to know.
I love the counter melodies that happen in the outro of this. Read all about it in the weekly midnight. Like when I can't do it, but like that goes down.
The bass. Yep.
It's so cool.
Yeah, is that Steve? I thought it was, but I wasn't.
I'm not sure. It might.
I wasn't sure if it was Steve, if it was Rick Derringer. I was like, it sounded like Steve because I think he typically does those.
He does
little
that.
parts.
Like when they did it on the Vanity tour, that was Steve doing that. Yes.
Right. Yep.
As far as on the recording, I would have to assume because I have, like, you look at the back of it and like all four are there. Al, Steve, Jim, and Bermuda. Like they're all four there on it. So and Steve is credited as doing background vocals. So my assumption would be that it is him.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the safest assumption. I just ever since I found out, I think that Rick Derringer plays the guitar part on "Eat It." Like I've been questioning my entire existence. Yeah.
I'm finding out that Rick Derringer produced all of his albums in the 80s. When I found that fact out, ages ago, I was like, what? Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo? The guy who sang Real American for Hulk Hogan? Like, that's the guy. And so it's so weird how things just like are meshed and intertwined. I'm like, that is just so crazy. I feel like Al's work you can kind of feel the freedom when he started producing his own stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But there is something magical about Al's 80s output as well that I don't think you can deny.
Oh, absolutely. I think, I mean, there's not really a miss for me. Even my least favorite album from that time, Dare to Be Stupid,
Really?
I think is still pretty good. Yeah, I think, and I think you guys may have mentioned this before, that I think it's very top heavy. So
It is.
It's very good, and then it just kind of tapers off a little bit.
Yeah. If you're gonna listen to Dare to Be Stupid on vinyl, everybody listening to this, anything like that, listen to side 1 and then enjoy the rest of your day.
Right. Exactly. And then go listen to Polka Party because it's great. It's underrated. And there was there's a poll on the Weird Al subreddit. Currently they're doing the 80s A to Z songs trend, and so I don't think they had a song for Z, so they were like, what's the best parody? So I put Here's Johnny.
Yes! My guy!
And I got an upvote, and a guy commented and was like, geez, that's a deep cut. I can't even downvote you for that. And I was like, yeah, it probably isn't the best parody, but I love Polka Party, so.
Polka Party, yeah. I if you had to ask me the best parody on Polka Party, I'd have to go Living with a Hernia, because I feel like that is the most underrated the most underrated Weird Al parody of the 80s. Bar none, in my opinion. So well done. But yeah, wow. All right. This makes me very happy. And thank you for holding down the fort on all of the Weird Al subreddits, because I am old and I don't have time.
No, I need to get hobbies.
No, that's a good hobby to have. I'll tell you, once I tried, there was a great it was a very young Weird Al Discord server that I got invited to. And I watched it for quite some time. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm appreciating all of these things, but then there's also a lot of like, this Weird Al picture made me feel a way that I was like, okay, no, I can't. I'm like, just do the. I can appreciate like the Germs video, and like there are other things, but let's just move on from all of this, because Weird Al is not a thirst trap. Weird Al is Weird Al. Let's move on, please. And so I'm afraid to do the Reddit thing, because I don't know the whole, like, what, the whole, I don't have a pulse on Reddit.
Yeah, there's not many Weird Al thirst traps going on
Good.
Reddit, so I think you'd be safe.
Okay, I might be safe over there.
You're making good use of your time, so.
Okay, good.
No need.
Okay, because I've got like Twitter's kind of my speed, and then I do like we've got a Facebook and we've got an Instagram, and Threads is how I got Eric Appel. So,
There you. Hey, join Threads, folks. You never know what can happen.
You never know what can happen, especially now, because it is so new that any celebrity of any level, they're not getting a lot of notifications on there. So the ones that they are getting, they actually see, and they may reach out. So
there you go.
That's what happened. That is exactly what happened. Oh my goodness, Noah. This has been delightful.
It has been. I've really enjoyed it.
Good. I'm so glad.
This was a bucket list item for me, so I'm really glad that I got to do it.
Oh, I'm so glad. And it's going to be so crazy for you now, because then, when this episode comes out, you're already going to know what happens before you listen to it.
I know. I've been like nerding out here, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the thing, and that's the thing, and so
Well,
I'm like,
Here, I'm gonna do all of the things for you.
okay,
While you're here. How about that? I'm gonna do a. I popped it earlier, but I'm gonna hit it.
I had to pop myself a beer.
I did it. Oh, you've got water that you're popping. Very nice. It's delightful.
I did pop.
You popped your water. I saw that.
Yeah.
that. Fortunately, we both knew what we were talking about today, so this didn't have to happen.
Wait a minute. I'll go check.
Go track. Yeah.
And this entire episode has made me feel like this.
Yes.
And I pulled this one. We don't use this one all that often, but I have it.
Word to your mother.
Yeah.
This is my favorite word to your mother.
Yeah. I've been so every time, and I tweeted this like months back that once I started listening to your podcast, I can no longer listen to Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota without hearing those two sections, and it's like my brain just isolates them now. Just isolate. So it'll be perfectly flowing, and then those two parts come on, and it's like my brain is like, nope, this doesn't belong here. And so it's kind of wild.
That's very funny. Hopefully we didn't ruin it for you.
No, it's still a very great song. I just thought
Oh, good.
that is very funny how the brain works when you hear something a certain way.
All the time.
Yeah. Another one that happened was Trapped in the Drive-Thru with he looked at me and I looked at him and he looked at me and I looked at him, because that was a sound that was trending on
TikTok. Yeah.
about a year ago. So I was listening to that song today, and again, same thing. It was so wild.
It's just, I love it. I love that kind of thing. And that makes me like, I'm so happy. This whole thing pleased me very, very much. Very, very much. I'm also not trying to put you on the spot here, but most of the time I have other podcasters on here, and this is where I let them kind of plug their projects and the stuff that they're doing or anything like that. So is there anything that you wanted to shout out here at the end? Anybody you'd like to thank, something you want to promote? This is your time to do it.
Well, since I don't think I'm going to be winning any awards anytime soon, I'd just like to go ahead and thank my parents. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow me, I am at Noah Massay on Twitter. That's Mussay. We're getting into the late summer here, and my favorite show, Big Brother, is going to be starting soon. So I will be tweeting like crazy. So if you want to see my dumb takes, then follow me there. And yeah, I would also, if I can shout out another podcast,
Yes.
if that's allowed, go listen to the Invisible Not Broken podcast, which is hosted by Monica Michelle. It's a great podcast for anyone living with a disability or chronic illness, and so I definitely think you should go listen. I was on the podcast about a year ago, and they are some great people over there at Invisible Not Broken. So yeah.
I love that. No, if you don't mind make sure I have like the right links for that podcast, so I can put that in the show notes for everybody to check out. Yeah.
Sure.
So then you can go ahead and click that and check all that stuff out. That is great. Oh, Noah, you're gonna get the button now. Here it comes.
And that's when those security guards threw us out.
We've talked Midnight Star.
Yeah, we did.
We did. And Noah, thank you so much for being here. You've made my day. My face hurts from smiling.
Oh, well, thank you. This, like I said, was amazing.
Yay!
Yeah.
Ah! All right, here we go. Here I go.
Yeah.
You know what, people? I don't even know what's happening next week. John and I are talking about some song But it's the last episode of the Beard Out podcast that's going to come out before John has a second child. That means we're going to have more voiceover talent for the intro and outros at some point once that kid learns how to talk.
Oh, sorry. We got a 1. We got a... That's so again.